Hey y'all, it's me, JShaw71. Just wanted to talk a while about something that's been going on for a while longer than a while. Fan games. We enjoy them, we play them. Sometimes flash-based fan games, other times full-fledged games that people have put hard work into, created from scratch. And usually, they're ignored. Unless there's a big company behind it. Squaresoft, Sega, Capcom have all killed fan-made projects. And Capcom especially, they're not doing well financially. If they want to do something, if they want to make money, I'm referring to Resident Evil 2 in general, fans have been clamoring for a remake for years. Ever since Resident Evil Outbreak and Resident Evil Zero came out. I mean, not Resident Evil Outbreak, but Resident Evil Rebirth came out. And Capcom has hardly said a word about it, as far as I know. Officially. And even unofficially. But I could be wrong. I know they said it would have taken too much time to remake all of the Resident Evil games, 1 through 4, if you want to count Code Veronica. But Code Veronica was a 128-bit game. It wasn't a 32-bit game. But that's not the point. My point is, we have companies that are sitting on piles of money, numerous copyrights, and they figure because they own copyrights, if they don't make it, no one else should. And yes, they technically own those franchises. But we have companies like Capcom that are facing financial bankruptcy, worse than Nintendo, and hardly anyone's said a word about it, except for here and there. So Capcom, you want to make money? Do a reboot of Resident Evil 2. Do the same game, do the same gun controls and control system from Resident Evil 4. Put that into a new engine, or a relatively better engine than Resident Evil 2 existed on. Include the classic enemies, the same characters, the same story. You probably would sell a boatload. And I'm sure that they know this. And they're not doing it, and they're being pig-headed and stupid about this. But it's going to cost them their company, in my opinion. If they don't do this, if they can't find a way to make a boatload of money to get them out of the red because they're very close to it, Capcom's going to go down. And I don't want to see that happen. I know a lot of us probably have lost love for Capcom over the years. But I, for one, don't want to see them go down, especially because of their own stupidity. I know this is going to fall on deaf ears, or none at all, at Capcom's headquarters. Capcom, if you want to make money, make a remake of Resident Evil 2. You really should seriously consider this. I just got done watching some fan-made videos from someone who took like the content from Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles Dark Side and reworked it into a third-person format. Not the best, mind you. I was using placeholder sound effects from Resident Evil 2. I was using some of the cutscenes from Resident Evil 2. Some of the cutscenes were done in-game engine. Others, like the liquor sequence where you first see the liquor, was a cutscene that looked like 10 years old, and I really didn't give a damn because it was nicely done. But we have companies like Sega that will kill a fan-made project of Streets of Rage. Happened, I think, about 5 years ago. Killed it. Cease and desist. He had to, or he would have been sued by them. And later back than that, we had a guy that was either going to do, I think it was a Chrono Trigger remake or Chrono Trigger 2. I can't remember which. And I don't know names right offhand, but this is just something coming off the top of my head after watching these videos and knowing what's happening in the industry and in the world. And I understand it's theirs, but they need to do something with it. If you don't do something with the game within 10 years, I think it should be considered public domain, where somebody can do something with it, whether you're going to make a profit on it or not, because you're not going to. Capcom, you're not going to. Sega, you're not going to. Squaresoft. And if you're not going to, why abuse us? Why mistreat us? Why make us out to be pirates, thieves, and felons when you won't touch the games that you've created, that fans love. So this is a little bit ragey, I know, entirely. But this really gets under my skin. Again, companies. Bullshit companies that want to use, in my opinion, bullshit tactics, but entirely legal. Do not get me wrong, entirely legal. They are within their rights. But if they, in my opinion, if they haven't touched a game in 10 years of some way or another, it should be considered public domain. And then